7. Directed by David Fincher and written by Andrew Walker, is a masterclass in psychological suspense and a prime example of a crime thriller that leaves a lasting impact on its audience. Walker, an aspiring writer, based 7 on his experiences of moving from a suburban setting to New York City during a period of rising crime and drug addiction in the late 1980s. This dark and gritty film weaves a tale of sin, morality, and human depravity that is as disturbing as it is mesmerizing. 7 is a cinematic masterpiece that continues to captivate audiences with its intense storytelling, unforgettable visuals, and thought-provoking themes. David Fincher's meticulous direction, combined with exceptional performances and a chilling atmosphere, makes this film a must-watch for fans of psychological thrillers. However, viewer discretion is advised due to its graphic content and disturbing subject matter. 7 remains a testament to the power of film to explore the darkest corners of the human psyche and challenge our understanding of morality. 7 is now regarded as one of the best thriller, crime, and mystery films ever made. The film, 7, is a gripping psychological thriller set in a gritty, rain-soaked city plagued by moral decay and urban despair. The story revolves around 2 detectives, the experienced and introspective William Somerset, and the impulsive and ambitious David Mills, as they investigate a series of brutal and ritualistic murders that revolve around the 7 deadly sins. Veteran investigator William R. Somerset and his replacement David Mills are paired up for a week-long indoctrination before Somerset retires. The two are mismatched. Mills is fervent, irritable, and short-tempered, while Somerset is skeptical, reflective, and patient. Somerset's laconic expertise irritates Mills' ambition, which makes him feel more uneasy. The death of a severely obese man who passed away from unidentified, non-natural reasons is their first case together. According to the autopsy, he was force-fed by an unidentified attacker until his stomach burst. The murder of a wealthy but despised defense lawyer who was compelled to mutilate himself was given to Mills the following day. The word, greed, is scribbled on the floor of his office. Back at the scene of the first murder, Somerset discovers the word, gluttony, scrawled behind the refrigerator. Somerset spends the entire evening researching them at the nearby library because he understands their spiritual significance in relation to the Catholic 7 deadly sins. He then places his work on Mills' desk. However, Mills needs the Cliff's Notes because she is unable to understand the literary source material. Somerset joins Mills for dinner and wins the respect of Tracy, David's wife, whose sensibilities appear more like his than David's. They discover evidence that points to the attorney's wife when studying forensic photographs. The wife confirms that a painting in the office has been rehung. Behind the painting, they find a message and fingerprints that they follow to the home of a convicted drug dealer and pedophile, where they use a SWAT squad to storm the home. However, they discover that the killer had chained him to his bed for a full year and left him in a critically emaciated state with the word sloth inscribed on the wall above him. Despite being saved, the individual is now in a vegetative condition as a result of his extended immobility. Tracy meets with Somerset in private and informs him of her pregnancy and her reluctance to carry the child to term due to the city's appalling living conditions. Although Somerset supports her viewpoint, he also offers her cause for optimism, leaving her to come to her own conclusion. Somerset utilizes a connection in the federal government to give illegally obtained library information to help trace prospective suspects after becoming frustrated with the killer's cunning and evasiveness. The investigation leads to John Doe, whose reading preferences have been revealed by the research. Just as Doe returns from a run, they arrive at his apartment. Doe sees them, fires a gun at them, and then runs away. Despite getting hurt while pursuing Doe through the structure and out onto the streets, Mills is cornered by Doe in an alley. Doe bizarrely spares Mills' life and flees. While forensics seize Doe's funds and lead to additional targeted victims, they are unable to locate any identifying information, not even fingerprints. Doe is still at large. They discover that Doe killed a prostitute for the sin of lust, after picking up an order from an S&M store that specializes in custom leather constructions. Doe kidnapped a man in a brothel, made him wear the contraption, a strap-on dildo with a bladed shaft, and raped the prostitute till she died. The next day, Do attacks a young model in her apartment, slices off her nose, and forces her to choose between deformity and suicide by gluing a phone and pill bottle to each of her hands. The victim chooses the former option and becomes Pride. When Mills and Somerset return to the precinct house, John Doe unexpectedly enters and turns himself in. They learn that Doe had been frequently wiping away his fingerprints with razor blades to escape detection. After a protracted discussion, Doe's lawyer advises the detectives and their supervisors that unless they agree to accompany Doe to a secret location in the afternoon to collect the last victims, Doe will claim insanity for his crimes. They reluctantly agree. They follow Doe's instructions to a field of high-tension power lines outside the city. Doe adds that his killings were ordered by God to literally turn the sinner's sins against them as punishment, and as a warning to everyone who disobeys biblical law during the journey. Doe's mysterious remarks to Mills have made him more and more hostile. Just as the package delivery truck is about to arrive and Somerset intercepts it, Mills arrives at the field and leads Doe out into the open. The driver hands over a box addressed to Mills and tells him that Doe paid him to deliver a delivery at the specified time and location. Somerset hesitates before opening the package and shudders at what he finds within. In a panic, he returns to them just as Doe tells Mills that he visited Tracy earlier that day and decapitated her after failing to assume the role of husband. Doe has committed the sin of envy, having been envious of Mills' normal life, and he prompts Mills to assume the role of wrath, to kill him as retribution. When Doe brings up Tracy's unborn child, despite Somerset's best efforts to reason with Mills, Mills loses control and shoots Doe. He then leaves in a condition of fugue. At dusk, the police show up, and Mills is taken into custody. Somerset gives up on his retirement aspirations because he has no substitute. Somerset reads For Whom the Bell Tolls by Ernest Hemingway as he and the department captain depart.
The world is a fine place and worth fighting for.
With the second part, I concur. The film ends on a somber note, leaving the audience with a profound exploration of human nature, the consequences of unchecked sin, and the boundaries of justice. 7 is a dark and unflinching exploration of the depths of human depravity, morality, and the disturbing capacity for evil that resides within us all. Its haunting atmosphere, intricate storytelling, and unforgettable performances make it a compelling and thought-provoking cinematic experience. 7 has become the most horrifying and unsettling homicidal maniac film. It is built on a horrible yet brilliant concept. A serial murderer does one of the 7 deadly sins on each of his victims to ensure their death. After that, the crime scene is skillfully arranged into a macabre tableau that graphically depicts each grave vice. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed the content and found it valuable. If you did, we kindly ask you to consider subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you'll become part of our community, gaining access to more exciting videos, informative content, and engaging discussions. It's the best way to stay updated with all our latest releases and be the first to know when we publish something new. Subscribing to our channel is absolutely free, and it helps us tremendously in reaching a wider audience and producing even better content for you. Plus, it shows us that you appreciate what we do, and that means the world to us. So, if you haven't already, please take a moment to click that subscribe button below the video. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit the notification bell to receive alerts whenever we upload fresh content.